What joy it was to hear an old prayer, one that I was taught at school. And it was lovely, so thank you to Mr. Music Man. Right, I've got a voice left after all that singing. I always knew there was a God. Taught it at school. I had two grandmothers that were Christian women, and one of them, boy, if you didn't see your prayers, you got a whack around the jaw. But anyway, I was about 12 when a classmate asked me if I'd like to go to Pathhead Baptist Church with her. Well, I'd been brought up with the Church of Scotland, you know, but I said, yeah, I'll go. I was a bit fed up, to tell you the truth, with Church of Scotland. I found it very boring. I shouldn't say that, but I did. Well, that was the start of the Pathhead Baptist Church. I was on a pathway, a journey, but boy, I slipped off it many a time. But when I left school, I was about 18, well I was 18, and I got a job at the Trefoil Residential School outside Edinburgh. Now that was a Christian school. It was run by the guides, and I had been a guide. Well, anyway, it was great. You had your prayers in the morning, and then every Sunday there was various church services that you could go to, or they held one in the church, in this school. Life was good, and I thanked the Lord. I was having a good time, you know, everything was going well. But then I started winching. For those of you who don't know what winching means, I was going out with a young man. Now, he lived in Fife, and I was the other side of Edinburgh. Well, in those days, there was no road bridges. It was either the ferry or the rail bridge. I wanted to get back to Fife so I could see him more often. Well, the Lord led me there without a doubt. A job came up. I was with the YWCA in Canmore Street. That was where I met Lena McLean. Some of you would remember Lena. She was a character. I loved her to pieces. Well, God was leading me and leading me, and eventually I got married. We moved to Rosyth, and I had my son. Well, I was going occasionally to the parish church, but it didn't feel right, you know. So one Sunday, I was in the middle of washing, and I got on my bike and I cycled down here. Well, everything was great then. It just seemed right. I went to every meeting, and Doris will tell you, I went to the Women's Fellowship, the house meetings, everything. Then there was a group of us was going over to Edinburgh, to the Tabernacle. There was a visiting speaker there, an American evangelist. So we went, and he was very good. And we were all up in the balcony, and the music started. Got up to sing, and I thought, I'm looking down at the stage, and I felt the music wasn't coming from there. I felt it was coming from above. The angels seemed to be singing and singing to me. So the tears came, started crying. I've never stopped since, I may say. But anyway, that night, I gave myself to the Lord. I came back, and I asked the following Sunday, I'd like to be baptised. So I was baptised February 1981. It wasn't all roses after that, I can assure you. I had quite a few tough years, just family, father dying, mother dying. And then I was left, my young teenage sister came and lived with me. So I had the responsibility of looking after her, and I'm saying, Lord, you're going to have to help me here. I don't know how to deal with a teenager. Although I had been one myself, you know, a few years before. Oh, sorry, I think I moved that. No, okay. So anyway, I managed to get her married eventually. Then my son got married, and Brian and I were left inside. I'd been going to church, but not very often. I slipped off that. Oh gosh, I've broken something. Oh no, I haven't. Sorry folks, I'm like that with my hands, you know. Anyway, where was that? Oh yeah. We decided, Brian and I, to move up to Crossgates. So I went and joined Cowdenbeath Baptist Church. I was on that path again. The Lord was with me, and I really was loving it. And my two by then I was a grandmother, and my 2 teenage grandchildren, they got baptised. Oh, the joy that was, and I thanked the Lord every day. My life was good and I was in a happy place, but the Lord had other ideas for me. He really did. My husband took very, very ill, and I couldn't go to church because I was looking after Brian. Oh, felt I was slipping off the path again. Then one day, there was a knock at the door, and there stood Harry Telfer. Some of you will remember Harry. He said, "I've just come to visit you and visit Brian." And I thought, thanks, come in, Harry. So Brian and him would sit and have a chat, make them a cup of tea and a bit of cake. Well, they 2 men loved cake, I can tell you that. Well, anyway, Harry came regular every week, and I felt the Lord, He brought someone to help me to get through this with Him, with the Lord, because He was definitely with me at my side all the way. Well, after Brian died, I went back to the church regular, but I felt I was getting pushed. I was on the path, but it didn't seem the right path. I felt the Lord was wanting me someplace else. One day I was down in Rosyth with my cousin, walking along, and I walked into the estate agents, put my house on the market, just like that. Well, I sold my house. I had nowhere to go. I was homeless, but I didn't care. The Lord was with me. Well, I did eventually get a house, Nelson Street. And the first Sunday I came here, I walked in, and oh, the joy. I could hear the singing. I thought, the Lord's got me someplace. He's got me here anyway. So I felt I was on that path again. I thanked the Lord every day for bringing me here. Now, I know at my age I'm on a path to heaven, but, well, I hope I get there anyway. But I knew that there was something that the Lord was bringing me here. What He was bringing me here for, I don't know. I've still to find out, and He will tell me eventually. But if I could bring a wee bit joy to anyone, I do like humour, and if I could bring a wee bit joy to anyone, then I'll be happy, and I hope the Lord will be happy. I think that's my purpose, to be here and to bring happiness or joy. So, God bless you all, and thank you for listening to a silly old woman. Thank you.